We all know how expensive fishing can be, especially match fishing. The possibilities are endless, the amount of kit you can buy, the price tags are astronomical on some stuff. But one thing I want to find out is, can you really compete with match anglers if you're on a budget? I've just got an E-class setup here, a rod and reel combo, less than £100. We're on a Thursday open match, we're down at Sylen Lakes, and I'm going to try and compete with the lads that have got poles, rods, top kits, everything set up. Will we compete with them? Well, in 5 hours' time, we're going to find out. Even though I've only set one rod up, seem to be nowhere near ready. So what I'm going to do, I've got a bit of a point just over there. I'm going to start bomb and bread. Just going to pop it up 8 inches off the bottom to start. 2 discs. I did have a little pot of yellow dye here, like we did on our tutorial video. I've been for a walk, come back and it's gone, so I don't know what the hell has just happened to that. Let's go 3 discs. 3 10mm on there. Now it's a fair old chuck over there on a 9-footer, but we can hit it. I've got an ounce bomb on, inline bomb, elasticated bomb, sorry, everything's going to have to be elastic 3, just because I want to switch between a bomb and a method feeder, and I've only got one rod, so let's glitch this over. Oh, that's perfect. Fair dues. That's a 9-foot rod. It's like it's got a bit of guts to it. It's like a mini method 9-footer, so it's got a bit of beef to cast, which is handy. So I'm just going to sink that line. A carp is literally just swirled in front of me 5 meters out. So let's just let that go down. So the plan is fish this bomb to start. I'll have half hour on it, see if we catch a few. I had a loose feed some 6mm pellets, sort of 16 metres, not far. And then just to my right, I've got some brambles in the water. I'll show you them. So just there, got some brambles in the water. So I'm just going to throw little balls of ground bait through the day there. And then we can underarm a method on that then if we need to. So it'll be interesting to see. Everybody around me started on the pole. Obviously that's not an option for us today, so I've just got a bit of a ground bait and micros mix there. I've got some green supreme, I've got some micros, so I just squeeze up nuggets like that and just through the day plop them in just off those brambles there. And if I need to, I can always make a few bigger balls up and smash them down the edge. So, and a loose feed just there, pellets. So I'll have the point of that far island to fish with a bomb and a method. I can chuck a little bomb with herring pellets over those loose feds and I've got the edge. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be quite good. So whilst I'm waiting for that to go around, I've got a little box of method hook lengths there, just Kaizens 020. And I got a couple of methods, different weights, little 20 grammer here for down the edge. That'll be plenty. And if I need to chuck a method across, I've got them in 30 grams as well. Right. Time for a chuck on the method, I think. So I've got 2 dead reds there. Just going to put a bit of stuff in. Lay the maggots in. And then compact that. This ground but just mix just a little bit on the dry side, just so I can really compact it onto that feeder. Because the lad, 2 pegs down now, has just got his 3rd on the method. Steve next door has just had 2 on the pole. So we're getting tonked at the minute. Just keep his pellets going in here. A very good feed. Oh my god, come on. Right, let's have a chuck on a feeder. Let's just double skin him up. Right, so let's have 3 quick chucks on this method, like 3 4-minute chucks, because the lad 2 down has had his bites quite quick. It's not like he's sitting there waiting. So I'm going to set that. If we don't get anything on this, I'm going to drop in on that bottom pellet line, because Steve next to me just catching on the pole tapping in pellets. Now we're in straight away. Literally first chuck. I've had 3 chucks out of the bottom and bread, not had a sign. So we've probably wasted 20 minutes of the match there now, which is a shame. Like, I was literally tightening up on this round. It's not a very big fish, I don't think, by the feel of it. It's a fair way to drag them back. Is that a carp even? Yeah. Little squeak going. Come on, lad, where are you? There we are. You're off the mark. Yes. Right then, let's try that again. They do absolutely love ground bait on this place. Margus on the hook. For whatever reason, they love that. Better. There was another one. Yeah, I just got my second one on now, boy. I've just moved spots there on that feeder. We're just about coming up to an hour in, and this is our second one. Steve next door and Peg 13 has got 5 now. He's had them pole and pellets. Peg 12 has got 5 on feeder. And I've seen my old mate, he's a fair way down, he's probably 4 or 5 anglers down further. He's probably got 5 as well, so it's not going amazing at the minute, but it's definitely going to happen. Like, I really fancy that bomb line to kick off. I feel like that's going to be a real good option for us. Oh, that's a little carp again. And what I've been doing as well, I've just been flicking a few 6mm pellets just to like 5 metres. So it just gives me an option when I go on that bomb. If I want to rest it and come off it, I can just underarm it on there as well. I got that edge line as well. I'm keeping an eye on that because it's shallow enough. If they come in there, I should be able to see them. So let's have another chuck on this. Now that I've moved my spot, that's the second chuck on a new spot, that is. I don't know whether it was a little bit too rocky where I was chucking to start with. So let's have a go with that. Right, well now we're in. And that's my lot on this, I think. And have a chuck on this bomb and pellet. I've been feeding that lovely now for an hour. Can't believe how quick that first hour's gone. Just absolutely vanished, so off with that method feeder. And I've just got a little bomb set up there with 2 Herrig 6mm pellets on it. I've been feeding a few pellets short, just sort of out by hand just there. And I'm going to see if I can bounce off these 2 pellet lines now on a bomb. Just dink a few pellets in out there. Chuck better than that, Michael. What I want to do is try and be the back edge of them if I can. Oh, that's perfect there. Just move that rod rest around a touch. And we'll have a couple of 3 or 4 chucks on this. And I'm hoping by loose feeding some bait we can start attracting a few fish in. Because our method don't seem the one, to be honest. I don't know whether I'm not chucking it tight enough over there, but oh, there's a little clink then straight away. Would be nice if we can get a few going on this. I feel like I just need to get 2 or 3 lines on the go where I've got some fish coming in. Because even though this is like it's a big weight water really, at the minute 5 fish is best, so we've got 2, so we're not a million miles away. We'll just keep those little nuggets going in, just up the edge there. That's going to be our, I'd say our banker line there to get a few fish. That's where we'll need to catch them. And all we can always do is if they do come in there, we can always throw some stuff down to the left hand side as well. What I've also got the option of here is chucking this little method feeder over the top of it. Oh, little liner then. That's a good sign. So we'll just have like 4-minute chucks on this bomb. Expect to be quite quick bites, to be honest. Right, no more bites on that bomb. I'm just going to plop a method in on that sort of 16-metre line, just over those pellets. Need to try and get something happening here now because it's not really happening, to be honest. Nope, there we go. Straight away on a method, look. Oh, that's a nice sign. I've just got a little tiny 4mm wafter on there, and that's been in there probably 40 seconds. So it's maybe that method, just to get him to home in on those pellets. Another little squeak going. There's a small stamp today compared to what they normally are, yeah? There we go. Look, there's that hook. Absolutely perfect in the bottom lip. Right then, we might be onto something finally. Right, we are. What are we? Nigh on 2 hours in now. And he's fishing, he's just sort of gone off the boil. The only person that's still catching now is Simon down towards the end there. He's right down the other end of this bank. He's catching a few. So I can't catch one. I've had a little go on that short line, not a sign. I've chucked a little method and a bomb over that bomb and pellet line, not a sign. But what I have seen is every now and then I'm loose feeding pellets and there's a carp swirling for the pellet. So they are there, they're just up in the water. So what I've decided on, I'm going to go back across now into some shallow water. I've just put 2 feederfuls of ground bait over there. I'm just going to whack that in. That's lovely, that is. And I have a little go on this. See if I can nick a couple of quick ones, because like Simon's doing really well on there. I'm sure he's just had that last fish on the pole down the edge. I've seen him have one short on the pole, a couple on the feeder. But I can't see the other couple of anglers round the corner, and I can't see Paul on the end either to my right, so I don't really know what's happening apart from a couple of anglers here. So let's just sink that line down and have a couple of quick chucks on this, get some bait in across there, see if we can catch an odd one. I'm going to keep loose feeding though. That bomb line, see there's a carp just, I don't know if you'll see that on the camera, just top where I'm right over the top of that bomb line, so they're there. It's just trying to get him to go down to eat those pellets. It's a bit deeper this bit by here. The problem you've got on here is you've got a lot of people like fishing floating baits, like pleasure anglers will come and fish like dog biscuits and stuff, so those fish just love being up on the top here, eating stuff off the surface. But at some point I'm sure when they feed, we'll be away then. Just keeping all my lines going. Making sure everything's like fed, because I know at some point we will get a chance. Still just throwing them little nuggets down the side. Surprised I haven't seen a swirl or anything on there yet. You know what? I'll just plop that little method back in on that pinging line. Had a load of liners, and within a minute we're round. Hell of a bite. Great bite that was. There's like little bits of stuff floating down off the trees, and there's carp at like 5 metres coming up and taking them. You just can't believe it, and you fish on the bottom, you just cannot get a bite. It's a slightly bigger one. Oh. It's better. Ah? Just put a method on instead of a bomb. These look lovely. Right. Yeah. That was a great bite. Let's hope this is the start of it now, because we need to start catching up here. It's got this little mix of like micros and then just like a handful of ground bait, just a because it's a bit deeper I'm chucking, there's a fair old drop on that, so that little bit of ground will just clog the gaps between your micros. Help them stay on a bit better. Just plop that in lovely. See, there's a fair, I bet that's over 6 foot there. Just set the trap there. And then just 2 pouches of pellets over it. It's a mint bit of feed in, that is. And then just flicking a few in. Just like, I don't know what's that going to be on, like a top 5 line maybe a bit shorter. And I've just been throwing in a little nugget of what's going on with the method as well. Oh, there we are, look at that. They're honest now. Look at this rain coming in now. That's a small fish, is it? Oh yeah, look at that, a little tiny one. Now that fish will have bred on in here. I bet that fish has never been stocked. That's just one that's grown on its own. That hook hold. Starting to get somewhere finally. Cheers. Go on. See. Steve next to me has just gone down the edge and just foul hook there. Foul hook going down the edge, so that's a good sign. He might start coming in. That's where we're going to do the damage if we're going to get him. It's going to be down these edges. It's going to be key to this today. We can catch another quick bite. If this goes round again now and we get one, we'll be right back in the mix then, I think. I have to put the old hood up here. This rain. They've given a nice sunny dry day today. Right then. It's time for our first little look down the edge on the method. So I've swung my rod rest round there now. I'm not sure if this is a bit early, but I just want to try it because there's an odd fish kind of like, you know, up in the water but close in. And I feel like my short line and my long line are a little bit too deep. So I'm going to just leave that slack. Just let that line just sort of sink down. It's fishing tough. I think 30 pounds winning it so far. We've only got 6 carp, so it's only just like a little run of fish from somewhere. I've had one more on that method. See, I mean, there's a carp just there now, just come up and took a leaf off the top. So I just can't seem to get him to go down and eat anything off the bottom. I've had another go just there on my 5 metre line short, but it's not gone. So I don't really know what to do for the best at the minute. It just feels like all you're doing is just waiting for him to switch on, and then at some point he'll just go mental, but it might be worth another chuck across perhaps. Maybe with a little wafter on with pellets rather than ground bit of maggots. But I thought this might have been worth a few fish down this edge, even early on. Because they do love being in the edge on this lake, for whatever reason. But not at the minute. No, that ain't going. Let's go back on that pinging line. And we might even be back across again in a minute, I think. Come on, get in there. Oh, he'll be on. Cool, look at fish scatting everywhere there now. Fish just went everywhere when I hooked that then. They're great bites on this little method, especially with elasticated stem. It just goes absolutely 0 to 100. Oh, that's a nice fish. Another bigger one, look. Miko. That's better. That's better, boys. Caught nailed right in the middle of the bottom lip, look at that. Don't get much of a better hook than that. Just changed now to one of these little orange wafters. I'm just thinking about my approach now, because this line is so good. What I might do is loose feed pellets to my right, further off the bank, no, not tight to the bank, a little bit off, because I feel like that really short line, they don't want to come in there. But if I can feed them away from myself, but just in a bit, I just want to fish in a little bit shallow water. I feel like if I could drop it in where it's about 3.5, 4 foot somewhere, might be better. And then maybe just temp a load of ground bit in late. Let's just see what happens with this now, this chuck. Because I've been feeding this, real positive with them pellets. See, I just spooked one there now. Chuck that in. Spooked one. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do... Oh, there we go again, a carp bite. That's the beauty with this, like, fishing it, like, feeding it like a bomb line. Because you might feel like there's nothing there for ages, and then you just get these mental runs where you just drop it and catch them on a bung. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fish a line past where I'm throwing that ground bit in the edge, and just start lumping pellets in there. Got this thing going. This bright hook bit is definitely the boy. The smaller one is there, that is. Come on. Yes. I'm back in the game. All of a sudden. There we go. What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to set up another feeder with a bayonet on it. Make sure they're ready. Every time I catch one, just switch the feeder over. What I might do is stop feeding that like top 5 line and just start feeding it off of the bank. I think that's going to be the best option. That's the boy. Right, what was I doing? Sign again there, look at this. Is that on or is that a line there? He's on, he is. Yeah, he's on, look. Absolutely solid there now, mental innit? All that time you can't catch one, but that's why you've just got to keep pinging these bomb lines. I had it at Viaduct the other week. Went like 4 hours, couldn't catch one, and then caught 7 big uns in like 40 minutes on a bomb. Got me from nowhere to framing. Go on. Getting amongst them now. So in like space of 5 minutes, we've gone from nowhere to probably up in the frame now. Right, I'm going to crack on for a bit and I'll catch up with you in about 20 minutes if this rain stops. Oh yeah, yeah. Halfway through now and I've just had that golden little run on this pinging line, like 15-metre line. I probably had 7 in, I don't know, 15 minutes. It just went absolutely mental, like couldn't even have a chance to feed. I chuck it in, put the rod on the rest, he was just jumped straight instantly. But it's just eased off a little bit now, but I think that one spell we have just gone from nowhere to, I'll be shocked if we're not winning it after that. So I've changed my plans. I've started loose feeding, just sort of in that little area there. I'll just ping a few there so you might be able to see it. Just there, so I'm sort of 4 or 5 metres off the bank and like 11 metres away from myself. Just because there's so many fish, it feels like in shallower water. So, oh, there we are, look at that bite. So I'm hoping I'll have this line, Corey's going ballistic, this line and that line to bounce off, and what I'm going to do, it don't seem like those edges are going off yet, but with an hour and a half to go, I'm just going to throw an absolute bucket full of ground bait in the edge. And then you never know, we might just get a late run on that. But this is so good now, I don't think I'm going to have to rely on that edge if we can just catch a few now. Still got 2.5 hours to go, so we'll see what happens in the next hour, but I'm stopped throwing those little balls of ground bait in, and I'm just going to hammer a load in there towards the end. Well, like hour and a half to go, I'd say. There we go. This is just like a prime example of not giving up on a line. I thought this was going to be a really good line, and it's just come good. And you get that with like anywhere you go and you've like pinging bait, you might go ages and not get a fish and think, oh, I'm going to sack this off, it's a waste of time. And then you seem to catch one and then it just goes ballistic. Barston is another good example of that, where you're sort of fishing away thinking this pinging line is rubbish, and then as soon as you catch your first one, you just catch an absolute boatload on it. So this orange hook bait seems to be absolute money as well. I haven't taken it off since we had that first run on it. So let's just chuck that in. And what's nice with elasticated feeder, because they'll just hook themselves on the feeder, you don't have to worry about like tightening up to it until you feed. So I want to see where the feeder goes in, 2 pouchfuls of pellets over the top, and then I can tighten up to it afterwards. So that's fishing now. And even if the line is slack, they'll just hook themselves on that feeder anyway. And then a few up there. Being nice and positive seems to be key at the minute. Let's see if we can get... Earlier on I couldn't even get another rig sort of tackled up ready to go because the rod was just going around so quick. So let's put this one together. Nope, that'll be on it. Some bites in the... Unbelievable. Like flicking a switch. Cool. Look at that. There we go. The only thing that's worrying me now is I may not have a lot of these orange wafters left over. Save that one. Right, I'm going to crack on for a bit and we'll catch up in about half hour's time, I reckon. Right, a little update. It's gone a little bit quiet on the western front now, to be honest. I've had 2 or 3 more just sort of on our like 15 metre line where I've just been pinging some pellets. But that seems to have gone quiet now, but we did have that amazing run on it, so I'm going to keep real positive with the feed on this line. I've been loose feeding pellets on that line I talked about earlier on, just up here, just off the bank a little bit. But all I've had there is like little hand-sized skimmers. I'm not had a carp there, which is strange. But this, when I chuck it in there, it's just constantly like dinking like that all the time. So I'm going to up the feed on that, because obviously there's an absolute boatload of small fish on it. And I think before too much longer, I'm going to fill this edge in, I think. Got to be that kind of time of day now where they're going to start coming in the edge. Maybe that's why I'm not catching out there now. Perhaps they've come in a bit closer, I don't know. But Steve next to me just had one down the edge there now. So I'm going to see look at this. No, this is a little skimmer. All of a sudden, these have just like turned up. These size ones, I don't know where these have come from all of a sudden, but there's a million of them about. Just all like the last sort of 40 minutes, they've just been going ballistic. Oh, he's on. There we go. Always when you pick up something up to do something else, you get a bite. So he was a bit out of the blue, that one. Oh, he's a nice fish, that is. That's what we needed, another little run, just to try and keep in the mix here. On that orange again, that seems to be the body. I've had a couple of chucks with yellow, but no good. There's another one. I was just about to start mixing up my edge stuff then, and that went off like a prom dress. Right, we're coming up to just about an hour to go now, and I've had just one more fish. I just had one on a bomb. I just had a chuck with a method, never caught nothing. I've had a chuck short, nothing. And I've just chucked in with a bomb with 2 6-mers and I've caught one. But I feel like we're in a bit of trouble now, because a few of the boys are catching down the edges on the pole. Like Paul next to me's had a few. Simon's had a few. I've seen Marge have a few in the edge as well. So we need to be catching a few fish. I've seen nothing come in this edge here where I fed that ground bit. I'm going to have another chuck with this bomb. Just plop this back in. Sometimes you'll just catch them quick after you've plopped the bomb in. The weather is seriously grim now. Oh, it's a nice quick bite. Off we go. Half an hour to go. We could do with a proper run of these now. Just keeping an eye on that edge as well, all the time. There we go. Pinged off in the net. that 2 bites like that, just out of the blue like that. Get in the net. I was on a pellet on the hook that time. Stop now. Rubber lips. Ah, QM went a hell of a job to get them out when they go in. How will they just turn back up like this now? Absolutely crazy. Ah, what's happened there? Oh, look, good done. Those non-fighters. Oh, these QM ones are good hooks, fair dues. You just cannot get them out. Oh, that fish was never coming off there. What's that we've had? We have 4 there now, haven't we? That's over the back of a fish there now, as again. Oh, how quick is that? Tightening up like. It's mad you get them runs, just like nothing, 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 and then it's as quick as you can get it into them. Ooh. A bit of a unit. Not quiet. Still, mate. whistle. Happy days. Fish on. At least we got one at the end. So that's our lot for today. I'll get this fish in now. I'll try to weigh in, and then we'll catch up and see if we've managed to keep up with the boys who are fishing poles, rods, wagglers, feeders. We've had a good day though. Enjoyed that. Don't not got it 100% right, guaranteed, but look at him, like. Whoa. Nailed on the orange. Right, I'm going to pack up and we'll catch up in a little while.
Definitely what I call a lot more.
Okay, so that was the end of the match, and before the match we asked the question, can you compete on a budget setup? Now this is going to be a little bit of a two-pronged answer, so let's quickly run through the weights. Now we have finished with £90, which I'm sure you will agree is a brilliant day's fishing considering we've only set up a budget rod and reel. We've probably had 30 odd carp for £90, which is in anybody's book a good day's fishing. Now at the end of the match, if you would ask me how have you got on, I'd have said, oh, we've definitely framed. But there's a few sneaky lads down at Sylen, and they've all caught on the short pole. The lads have done really well, have caught short on maggots. Now, we haven't taken any maggots. They've all sort of fed 2 and 3 pints, whereas I've only taken like a half a palmful for the hook for the meth. I didn't really know about those maggots. So I wanted to redo this video. I'd done it on the bank. I watched it back and I thought, let me redo it in the tackle room now I've had time to think about it. So let's just run through the weights. I've had 90. Marge has been third with 125. Now £35 ahead of us with the right bait is definitely achievable. Paul has had 137 and my mate Simon has won the match with 140. So we're a fair bit off the first two, but definitely that 125, I really think we could have caught that. Now, the second part of this sort of question is, you know, can you compete on a budget setup? I think the setup was absolutely fantastic. When you look at the action of the rod, and we've caught an absolute pile of fish. Now, if I'd have gone there and had 2 or 3 pints of maggots and just flicked maggots in short, because that's where the lads have caught them, like out of their hand, just on the short pole. If I could have married in that 15-metre pellet line and then thrown some maggots short and fished like maybe a little bomb with a short hook length or even just a little maggot feeder there, I'm sure we would have filled in those quiet spells and bumped up to like a definitely third place weight for sure. So the question, can you compete on a budget setup? With the right bait and the right knowledge, 100%, you don't have to break the bank, buy a load of kit to be able to compete in these open matches. I hope you've enjoyed that video. I've been trying to think of like any other like little challenge videos. So if you can think of any, put it in the comments below. And don't forget, like, subscribe to the channel. Let's get it bumping in 2025 and get loads more challenges done.